Anyways, this video is about believing, and as cliche as it may sound, and as simple it may sound, believing is something that is very hard for many of us to do. I would like to say just believe in the impossible, simply because you just don't know where life is going to take us. 5 years from now, you have no idea where you're going to be. And that's the interesting thing about life, and the most exciting thing, because you know that your present circumstance won't be forever, right? I like to look at situations as this is only temporary. And it's hard to look at situations that way because I've had times where I would be going through something and I felt like it's going to last forever. And why do I talk about this? Well, I'm talking about this because many times people will not believe in you because of your present circumstance. And we do the same thing to ourselves. You just have to be very careful. You never know who you're sitting next to. I mean, the person you're dating right now, you never know where that person is going. Because at the end of the day, you can be dating someone, you could be friends with someone, sitting in class with the next CEO, hanging out with the next best-selling author. You just don't know. And so you have to be very careful about what you allow other people to speak over your life and what you speak over your own life, because there is power in words, most definitely. I personally don't think that someone, and this is something that my mother told me and I stand by it, no one can move God's plan out of your life, God's will out of your life. Whatever God has for you, whatever is meant to be for you is going to happen. So if God is calling you to be, for example, the next mayor or the next president, believe me, no man on this green earth can stop God's plan. The only man or woman that could stop it is you. You're the only one. I don't believe that, if I disagree with God because he has called this man to be the next CEO, if I disagree with God, I could come against that. Now I'm going to be speaking against God's word. Your words aren't that powerful, at least in my opinion. They're not so powerful to make God change his mind about someone else's plan, especially when they're standing in his will and they're standing in obedience and they're obeying him. So that's the way that you have to look at it. I know some people that will not allow someone else to speak against their plan or their life. For me, I'm careful about who I respond to, because many times when someone doubt you, it's not out of malicious intent. It's not like the person doesn't like you or they don't believe in you. The truth is, people put their own fear and failure on you. Their own failures on you. So maybe they didn't have the opportunity to write a book. And now that you're saying you're going to write 10 books by the time you turn 30, they don't believe in it. They're like, girl, that is so hard. Oh my God, I couldn't even finish one. That's never going to happen. Well, guess what? It's not impossible. You don't know how this person is going to make it. I remember one time I was in class, and this guy, he's probably watching this video right now. His name is Jonathan. Anyways, we're sitting in class, and I'm pretty sure he probably doesn't even remember. I'm one of those individuals, I remember a lot in terms of conversation. And the professor said, well, how much money did this person make? And I think it was like millions or something like that. And this guy said, well, an amount that no one in this room will ever see. And Jonathan was like, nah, and the guy was like, well, that's an amount no one in this room will ever see. And Jonathan was like, well, speak for yourself. Because the truth is, in my mind, that moment, it stuck with me, because you don't know where people are going. You could be sitting next to the next millionaire. Like, stop having this limited mindset, this limited thought process about where you're going and where you're going to be. And I've had, since I've learned the power of my words, I try my very best to speak life. There's so much power, and there's so many scriptures that agree with the power of your words, the power of the tongue. And another example, one time I was having a conversation with one of my friends, and I told him, yeah, we should definitely do this and travel and do this together. And he's like, well, I'm going to be broke. And I'm like, what makes you think that? I just know it. I mean, I'm going to graduate from school and I'm going to be broke. And I'm like, did you graduate from school yet? I said, you have to be careful about what you're saying. I said, I'm not. That's not my story. Because at the end of the day, you don't have to convince people about God's plan for your life. God has a plan for everyone. I know he has a plan for my life. I'm not convincing anyone else about God's vision for my life. I'm not convincing you. But you have to be careful about what you're saying. Another conversation I had a little bit earlier, this lady said something about, oh, no, I'm going to be broke, or we're going to be broke. And I'm like, I'm not. Oh, no, I'm like, I'm not broke right now. So why, like, I'm not broke now. Why would I be broke in the future? Well, and then when students, when they graduate and they're going to be broke, I'm like, nah, I'm not going to be broke. And she's like, well, I'm like, listen, I said, I know God's plan for my life. I'm not going to be broke. And I'm not saying it's all about money. What I'm saying is that God has something great and grand for your life that goes beyond the amount of money you make. And you just don't know what areas he wants to prosper you in. And it's up to you to believe. You have to believe now. Like my mother always tells me, you have to walk as if you are. You know how the Bible talks about speak things that are not as if they were? Well, you have to start walking as if you are. My mother said, if you want to be an attorney, you walk like an attorney. You talk like an attorney. You dress like an attorney. You do the very thing. You want to be a doctor? You start reading books about medicine. You start doing all of those things. You want to be a teacher? You want to be an author? Start attending these events. You walk as if what you are, because that's a sign of faith. And faith without works is dead. So you can have faith that you're going to be financially stable. But if you don't have a savings account right now, then you may not have as much faith as you think you do. Because your faith is going to be tested on what you do right now. And so I'm encouraging you all, if you have a dream and a vision for your life, and I'm talking about you have to have more than a belief. You have to have a faith, a strong faith that no one can take this away from you, and you can't take it away from yourself. And you have to learn the power of your words and stop thinking to yourself, well, I'm just going to say I'm going to be broke. I'm going to be poor. I'm never going to write this book. I'm never going to own a business. How are you going to doubt yourself? Y'all, I'm almost done with this video. Seriously. You have to have faith in yourself. You have to believe. And you have to understand that you do not want your testimony to be, I doubted myself. Let other people do that. Stop doubting yourself. Let other people doubt you. So when you make it, you can say, I remember when this person doubted me. You're not going to say, I remember I doubted myself. What kind of testimony is that? I doubted myself? Anyways, I encourage you all today, and just understand there's power in your words. Always believe that you can do whatever it is that you set your mind to. I love you all, and I hope to catch you all next time.